The UI elements of any operating system should not serve only for aesthetics. It should be functional as well. In today's video, I will discuss either the taskbar style UI or the dock style UI is better in terms of functionality. When I am talking about functionality, I am referring the screen real estate. What does that mean? It means, let's say you have a 1080p display, and how much pixel or how much screen you are actually using for the task you are doing or the application you are running on. Now there are two types of users. One use taskbar style UI, another use dock style UI. And if you are a Windows user, you most likely using a taskbar. Sometimes you may see that macOS users have a dock style UI and you like that and you want to implement that dock style UI in your system, and that's a good thing. I will have nothing to say about it, but is it actually functional or not? That is the question. Now I have four types of scenario. If you are a Windows user or a Mac user or a GNOME desktop environment user or a KDE Plasma user, and these are the four things that I will be talking. In case of taskbar, you can find the taskbar in Windows as a default. In Linux, there are several desktop environment. The most famous one is the KDE Plasma that resembles this taskbar style UI. As a default, you can actually change it. And if you are looking for a default dock style UI, you can find it on macOS and a GNOME based desktop environment or Linux distro, something like that. Now, a taskbar is basically a taskbar that contains the running applications as well as the pinned icons of some applications. Also, it shows you some other informations like date, time, desktop icon, notifications, and some background tasks that it does, start menu, search bar, something like this. All of these are in a single slide bar. As you can see in this diagram, this is basically a default style look for a Windows. You can also change the position of the taskbar. You can put it on below, above, left or right. In dock style UI, you get not only a dock, the dock contains a dock, obviously. It contains all the applications that you pinned in the dock and the currently running applications. But when you are using a dock style UI, you will have to have a menu bar or top status bar in order to show you some status like date, icons, notifications, or a unified menu bar, something like this. And you will find it in GNOME or macOS. In GNOME, by default, it could have left or right side dock, and you can change it around. It's not a big deal. Now, the question is not about the aesthetics. You can love any of these two styles. It's about the functionality. If all of your information as a taskbar can contain in a single horizontal line or vertical line, it will definitely take less space. For example, in default 1080p window, you get a 48 pixel width of the taskbar that gives you around 95.56% of screen real estate, and the vertical space you get is 1032 pixels. When you shift the taskbar from bottom to left or right, you get something like around a 64 pixel, and if you count it as screen real estate, you get 96.67% of screen real estate. But when you go to the dock style UI, you can see that it is performing worse in terms of screen real estate. if you put two bars, one at top and another one at bottom, you will see you get only 90.74% of the screen real estate, which is not that functional compared to a single taskbar style. Again, if you do a vertical dock with a status bar, you get around 94.79% of screen real estate. So as you can see, the most functional or the most screen real estate you are getting if you are using a operating system having a single taskbar with a vertical alignment, something like this one. Unfortunately, for Windows users, this cannot be shrunk down any further. I mean, you can shrink it, but it is quite limited. But for Linux users who uses KDE, they can shrink it way below. You may say that you can just use a full screen application if you want a better real estate, screen real estate. That's true, but the issue is you need the constant visual output from the taskbar or the status bar, because it shows you all the applications that are the windows that are currently running in your system, and you can go or switch back and forth. You can also do that with your keyboard shortcuts, but if you use your mouse, you will need to use those dock or taskbar. Also, it shows you the date and time, and if you enable weather, you can see that. You can also see if there is any notification available. Also, hiding them creates some issues. Let's say if your application have some buttons at the bottom, for example these pages that I have in the bottom, and if I hide my taskbar or dock underneath this, I may sometime go way below and the dock may pop up and I may click any other icon without clicking on this, the where I am supposed to click on. And this kind of issue can arise when you hide dock or taskbar. So always visible dock or taskbar is actually more functional than keeping them hidden. And if they need to be always visible, and they don't really need to take so much space for those purposes only. As you can see, I am using Windows, but I have customized my taskbar in a way that it looks like a status bar, keeping as less space as it can be. Now you can ask, why didn't I use a vertical taskbar, as my result shows that it gives me more real estate and more vertical screen space. That's because it doesn't work well. Actually, when I try to do a vertical taskbar, it just looks broken if I try to shrink things way below than usual. And this is why I am using top taskbar that looks like a status bar, also acts like a status bar, keeping minimal white. So if you want better screen real estate, you should use the taskbar style UI, not the dock with status bar style UI. And if you have no issue rendering the taskbar in vertical layout, then I think you should choose that by keeping your taskbar left or right. I can be wrong. This is what I think. This is my personal opinion. So that's all for today. Thank you.